It is 4 o'clock. St. Cloud Metropolitan Transit Commission Board is called to order. And let the record reflect that everyone is here with the exception of Sartell. Any additions to the agenda?
No.
All right. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Consent agenda consisting of items 5 through 8.
Move to approve.
Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. That is adopted. Open forum. Anyone here in the audience or online? The open forum. Okay, then we'll move on to general business. Introduction. Carrie Thorson, ABDO Financial Services. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, Chair, I'd like to introduce Carrie Thorsten. She is with ABDO Financial Services. As a result of our departure, of our resignation of the finance role, we secured the services of ABDO Financial Services. So Carrie will be the representative working on behalf of ABDO while we procure a replacement for the Director of Finance. We have a 6-month contract with them, subject to renewals. We'll see how we are within 6 months. Hopefully by then, we'll find a replacement for that role. But in the meantime, ABDO will be here to manage the finance department, to work with Kellen, Libby, and Gary, manage our audits, our triennials, just traditional financial stuff, day-to-day financial stuff, in addition to the high-level financial tasks, until we're able to find a replacement. So Carrie, you'll be seeing her at the board meetings, doing presentations if needed. You'll see her on site here at our facilities, but she'll be working just by herself for most parts. Most of the team will be remotely, but she will be here on site 1 day a week.
Okay.
Where's your office?
I work remotely from home,
Okay.
but we have offices in Edina,
Okay.
Mankato, and Scottsdale, Arizona.
Well, I think January's meeting should be held at one of their offices.
Yes.
I know which one.
I'll second that.
Okay.
And just a
We'll
note
be
too.
retired by then too.
And just one, not fun fact, well, just a fact. When we first started, or when I first started in 2013, when we were going through the CNG renovation project and the mobility center project, at the retirement of Dave Tripp, we hired AEM. So AEM is known as ABDO.
Yes.
Am I saying that correctly?
Correct,
Right.
correct.
So they were the same firm that we use with Jean McGann, who's now the president of ABDO. We secured her firm back in 2013.
Well, welcome.
Thank you. I'm very excited to get started, and your team has been amazing to get us up and running, so thank you. I'm excited to work with you.
Well, nice to have you.
Thank you.
Well, we will then move on to item number 10, Resolution 2024-08, Title VI Plan.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. In your packet is an updated Title VI plan. Every 3 years on October 1st, we are required to submit information to the FTA for our Title VI program, and that's in the format of the plan that is in your packet. That will go into effect on November 1st. Any questions?
Mr. Chair, I have a question.
Yes.
As I was reading that this weekend, who drafts that? Or is that a draft, is there a template that you have to use?
I used the one from the previous year, but I put that together.
I didn't know you were a lawyer too. I thought it's gotta be a template.
Some of the pieces in there come from different plans. So
Okay.
like the service model information came from our previous long-term range plan. So I get the information from different places.
Okay. I was just curious if there was a template or something that the federal government provides. There must be a checklist of what you
There's
need
a
though.
checklist of what we have to
Okay.
include. Yep,
Cool.
Yep.
Nice job.
thanks.
Can't say it was exciting reading it. Just saying. I dropped a Tom Clancy book for that.
Any other questions? Is there action?
Move to approve.
Second.
All right. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that is adopted. Go on on to item number 11, liability and workers' compensation insurance policy.
That is me again. So October 1st is the start of our liability and workers' compensation insurance. It renews every fiscal year. We received our renewal numbers and are looking at a 7.5% increase for next year's plan. In the packet, I kind of outlined some of the reasons for the increase. Wind and hail deductible went up. As a result of that, we decided to do a deductible buyback so that we are a little more protected due to the increase in that deductible. Auto insurance, minimal changes. Cyber liability insurance, our deductible was actually lowered. We did choose to increase our limit by $1 million, which was an added $3,000 in annual premium. And then our workers' compensation insurance was actually, the premium decreased 6%, and so that's amazing. Our EMOD went up just slightly, but because we work pretty closely with SFM, they're always willing to give us some adjustments where they can, and Mahold or Gallagher is really good at working with them to get those adjustments for us. So overall increase 7.5%. The total proposed premium is the $638,741. Any questions?
Questions from?
No.
I had one, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Did we have, what type of increase did we have budgeted for?
We had on all of our liability lines, we actually had a budgeted 15% increase.
Okay,
And then for work comp, we budgeted flat, so we'll
Okay.
be fine with
perfect.
this. Yep.
Good, thanks.
All right. There, this is just the update. Do we need the motion on that?
Nope, that was just an update.
Just an update, all right. We'll move on to department updates. IT.
Oh, that's me. Chairman Commissioners, I said we got a new face, so I'll introduce myself, give you a little bit of history about myself. My name's Steve Williams, I'm the IT manager here. I've been with Metrobus a little over 32 years. I actually started out as an operator way back when we had a horse and buggy. Moved up, was a street supervisor for a while, then I moved into IT. So our department consists of two people, it's myself, and then I have an IT specialist, Ken Campbell. Ken has been with the company a little over 5 years. So, like I said, we've got some good employees there with Ken, and we're got some experience with them too. So that's nice. The IT department here takes your traditional IT stuff: servers, computers, laptops, software applications. We also do some more non-traditional stuff, like some of the electronics in the vehicles, like a destination sign, some of the equipment that are in the buses, the two-way radios, stuff like that falls under the IT department as well. Some of the projects that we've done in the last year we're currently working on. We switched our chat system on our website to go through our phone system, which is Mitel, so that way it's integrated with the phone calls, so we can do reporting and tracking and stuff like that through the same software. So we're able to get statistics on how that works. We've upgraded some of our servers, including our Safety Vision server. We upgraded to version 5. We upgraded our streets dispatch, our fixed route dispatching software from version 6 to version 7.1. We added the ability to use Google Maps to do trip planning. So now, in addition to our app and our own website, you can go to Google Maps and you can do a search and it'll do trip planning for you. And that was a feature that's been asked for a long time. So we got that. We're almost done. We got Google does 2 stages. They do a static and then a real time. The static is done. The real time, we just got a few little things that we need to iron out with Google. Google's kind of like Microsoft. You don't really tell them what you want to do, you do what they tell you to do. So we got a couple of hiccups with Google that we got, we're ironing out, but we're almost ready to roll that out. So that'll be a nice feature once we get the real-time stuff up and running too. We converted our fueling station outside to a hosted environment, which allowed us to accept the new style chip credit cards, and it gives us the ability to do better reporting. on our sales, stuff like that. And if there ever is any tech support that's needed, the vendor that we use, Fieldmaster, can actually remote directly into the system and do the repairs for us, so that's a benefit to us. We upgraded our network security. We added some Office 365 detection software, which monitors our email, our like Word, Excel, all of your Microsoft products. It's looking for any type of malicious behavior that it can predict that would happen before something like a cyber event were to happen. So we've got live monitoring on that now. That was a new addition. And we're also in the process of switching vendors on what's called EDR, or Endpoint Detection and Response Software. Kind of think of it like antivirus on steroids. It really monitors your servers, your computers, same thing, tracks what you're doing, seeing if it's behavior that makes sense or if it's potentially a threat. And then we've got a system now with Kroll that they monitor that for us 24/7, and they're able to pick up that. So if something happens overnight or on the weekend when nobody's here, somebody's still monitoring it and is able to react to it. So we've been working on that. And the last thing that we're working on is we're currently in the process of making changes to our telecommunications system. Currently today, we use copper phone lines to get our phone lines into the building. And I don't know if you've been following, but the government deregulated copper phone lines. So the prices are gonna go through the roof on anybody that's got copper in like a business environment, and eventually even at your house, it'll follow through. So we're moving so that our service is gonna be delivered over fiber instead of copper, so we can negate all those increases that are happening. So that'll be, in essence, a cost savings for us. It's actually cost neutral, but the other option was a big increase, so it is a cost savings for us. So we're working on that. Unfortunately, there's a couple of parts that are on back order from the provider to make that cut over, and once those pieces get in, we're ready to cut that over. So, like a lot of things, we're waiting on supply chain issues and some stuff. So, and with that, I stand for questions.
Questions? Yep.
I have a couple, Steve.
Sure.
What you just talked about, the fiber, do we have fiber in the building already?
So the way that it works is we partner with the city of St. Cloud, and we lease some fiber through the Granite network, through MICA. So we pay the city for dark fiber. So our buildings are all connected to each other via fiber, and they all hub out of actually the St. Cloud Police Department server room is where they end up. So we pick up our fiber internet in the PD server room, but it's ours. It's not the city's. They just allow us to use their rack space to do it, and then we pay for that fiber.
Okay.
So yes, we are picking up internet via fiber. Our phone is still on copper.
Okay. St. Cloud, you can raise the fee and even it up for you?
I'll be raising my
Check
fee.
the rate.
Oh, yeah, the new mayor will be raising.
Oh, yeah, the new mayor, yeah, the new mayor. What is the new mayor? Explain the new mayor.
So, and that's, like I said, that's a wonderful arrangement we have with the city, with the fiber to connect our buildings together. So, I mean, that is just incredible for us to do.
I had three questions, actually, I lied,
So,
I had two. The cybersecurity, seems like I got another notice yesterday in the mail that like somebody that I do business with got hacked again. Are you comfortable with what we have now? I mean, that's probably a dumb question, of course, you probably are, but is there something you need?
I think there's always a threat out there, and I think everybody needs to be cautious all the time, 100%. But we've got some good programs in place right now. We've got some good monitoring in place. The Kroll that we partnered with comes highly recommended in the industry. And we use a program called Sentinel-1, which is highly recommended in the industry. So I'm confident in the tools and resources we have.
Yep.
Could somebody still click that
Yep.
link in an email?
Yeah.
You know, you can't control
No,
everything. But yes, I'm very comfortable with
I
what
would
we
assume
have.
you are, you would have been asking for something else,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I like to ask as long as you're here
So,
and comfortable with
yeah.
it.
And Steve, you just want to talk about the training that we have for the employees too? The
Oh, we use
Know Before
we use a program called Know Before, which I don't know if you've heard of it or not. They actually do two things for us. They do cybersecurity training. They have videos you have to watch, and you got to take a little quiz at the end to prove that you actually watched it. And we get those trainings like once a month No, we do those once a quarter. Once a quarter. We get trainings on that. And then once a month, we'll send out simulated phishing emails. So it's like a fake, it's not malicious, but it's a phishing email. And then if the end user does end up clicking on a link that they shouldn't have, then they have to take some additional training. So we use it as a training tool, not a, boy, you're in trouble, you click that kind of tool. We want people to learn from it so that they're able to spot these threats, and it really has helped a lot, tremendously, since we've implemented this.
You're not going to walk in and go, aha, Ryan. I got you.
Yeah, so like I said, that's a great tool we use, and it really does a good job. And we've definitely noticed on our users when we first implemented versus what people are clicking now, that it's made a tremendous difference.
I think there's a lot of companies that are spending a lot of time in that cybersecurity. I got called by not the bank I worked for, but a different one I bank with over the years, for probably 30 years. And they asked if they could use me as a guinea pig for their cyber training and whatever. They didn't tell me exactly what they were going to do. But evidently what happened is they hire a company from Ohio or somewhere that, some background, there's a lot of information out here on Facebook. They knew my kids' names, my wife's name, everything, birth dates. They called and said that I was in a car accident over the weekend, and they were pretending to be my son. And they called 3 different branches of that same bank. It's a small local bank.
Sure.
And only one bid on it a little bit. But they still don't know that I knew about it. They think that they took care of it internally. I'm gonna have to walk in there someday and say, that was not really what happened, guys. They know that, but they didn't say for sure. I mean, all the details. But you would be surprised what's out there that people, actually, I'm surprised it didn't work. Because years ago, we're in a small town, people know each other, even in St. Cloud, people know a lot of different people. But they hired actually companies that you can hire to go out and try to get into your system through the employees. And again, it wasn't to bust Ryan or somebody, it was just,
no, it's all about training and education.
Absolutely.
Right? People need to see what's out there, and like you said, the information that is out there. I mean, if you don't think the threat actors don't know everything about every one of us, they know more about me than my wife does, right?
Yeah.
It's unfortunately, it's just today's age. It is, right? Unfortunately. So that's good to hear that they're doing that too.
Yeah, no, a lot of companies are taking it very seriously.
Yeah.
I think they always have, but it's a whole new level. It's just changed. People have too much time on their hands, I guess.
Well, it only takes, unfortunately, these threat actors are sitting in a coffee shop somewhere over wherever, I don't know, not here, but well, some of them are here.
Yeah.
But it only takes one to bite. I mean, so they can throw this out to 10,000 people. It only takes one to bite, and
it's true.
they got something.
Yeah, the number that he supposedly called from was an Ohio number, but they know my son well enough that they know he travels all over.
Mm-hmm.
So him by calling in from an Ohio number
Wasn't surprising.
Not at all. So, but I'm glad you're on top of it. I mean, as much as we can be. And then a third question, maybe not a question, but you said you're here 32 years.
Yes.
Did you start when you were 10?
Pretty much.
Couldn't see over the steering wheel of the bus. But thank you.
I was pretty young.
Yeah, thanks. I didn't realize I knew you were here a while, but I didn't know it was 32 years.
So
thank you.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just a quick question. You mentioned Google Maps. I'm wondering, for this trip planning, is that for customers or is that for the drivers? What is
No, it's
that?
for the end users, the customers.
For the customers.
They can go to Google Maps and they can put in 2 addresses. And like how you would normally do it for your car.
Right.
There's a little icon for a bus or transit.
Okay.
And you can hit that icon and it'll give you what are options for our routes. Just like it would directions for your car. It's in the same spot. You just click another icon on the top.
Oh, very good.
And you can switch. You can switch from like cars to walking to transit. And there's something else. I don't remember. Is it bike?
Bike. Yeah.
But yeah, it's in that exact same spot you would go to if you were going to get directions for your car to drive somewhere.
Okay, good to know. Thanks.
Yeah, you bet.
Any other questions? All right, well, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Do you want to?
Oh, yes, just, so we don't have a finance person, but finance, we have to, we're thinking of potentially, we do the DC trip usually in the spring, but when there's a change in administration, it's good probably, if the lame duck Congress is the same people, which I don't know, Minnesota, if that's gonna change in our area. Catch them before they get into the new year. So Ryan, I think I'm going out, so we just need authorization to do that if it takes place. If not, it'll just be in the spring. It'd be one of the two, it wouldn't be both. But probably easier to do in this year and then not in the calendar spring.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It carries. Anything else you have, Ryan, or nothing else? Okay, there's a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned at 21 after. See you